the Trump administration, your administration, does have a zero-tolerance policy for anti-Semitism, will you dismiss Ms. Kingsley from her role as a U.S. military spokesperson today, yes or no?
Again, that's why I referenced the context and characterization.
Well, we'll send you the quote,
I've worked
sir.
directly with her. She does a fantastic job, and there's any suggestion that I or her or others are party to anti-Semitism is a mischaracterization attempting to win political points.
Sir, and I'm going to
Senator,
say
you're
that your
attempting to
lack
win
of an
political points on the backs of mischaracterizing the statements of a member of my department, and I'm not going to stand for that.
You are not a serious person. You are not serious about rooting out, fighting anti-Semitism within the ranks of our DOD. It's despicable. You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Senator Rosen just torched Pete Hegseth in a way he could not outrun, exposing that under his watch, the Pentagon didn't just ignore anti-Semitism, it rewarded it. She confronted him over promoting a spokesperson who pushed neo-Nazi conspiracy rhetoric, and Hegseth collapsed into defensiveness, insults, and smirking condescension. In seconds, Rosen dismantled the myth that Hegseth is restoring warrior ethos, instead revealing a defense secretary who protects extremists, punishes competence, and lets social media influencers dictate national security decisions.
Look, Senator Rosen, you were recognized. I thought I would just create a stir down there.
No, I thank you to my seatmates on both sides. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We take care of each other. And again, thank you, Chairman Wicker, Ranking Member Reed, for holding this hearing, Mr. Secretary. We have a short amount of time, so I'm just going to ask a few simple questions, and I would just appreciate if for some of them, you would just answer yes or no. And so, Secretary Hegseth, would you agree that every senior official in the Department of Defense must reflect the values and conduct that our service members must uphold and our citizens expect?
Senator, we want to uphold the highest possible standards.
I'll take that for a yes. So would you also agree, then, that anti-Semitism and anti-Semitic conspiracy theories have no place in our government or military? Yes or no?
They should not.
Thank you. So would you also agree that anyone who has posted, and I'm going to quote, anti-Semitic conspiracy theories lifted right out of a neo-Nazi playbook, end quote, shouldn't be anywhere near a position of power? Yes or no?
Since I don't believe the characterization of many officials in the news media, I would need to see precisely what's being characterized.
But generally, would you not say that if we thought something was coming out of a neo-Nazi playbook, it doesn't have any place in our Department of Defense? Now, Secretary Hegseth, the quote that I just read you was referencing Ms. Kingsley Wilson, the DOD press secretary. It's a direct quote from her, who my Republican colleagues on this committee have also expressed alarm over due to her comments. In fact, one colleague said, and I'm going to quote again, obviously I don't agree with her comments. I trust the Pentagon will address this, end quote. However, in the months since, not only have you not addressed these anti-Semitic comments, you have promoted Ms. Wilson. This seems to be at odds, honestly, with President Trump's commitment, very public commitment to combat anti-Semitism, which you just said you two agreed with. So, Secretary Hegseth, given the rise in anti-Semitic violence, hate crimes in our nation, and to show that the Trump administration, your administration, does have a zero-tolerance policy for anti-Semitism, will you dismiss Ms. Kingsley from her role as a U.S. military spokesperson today, yes or no?
Again, that's why I referenced the context and characterization.
Well, we'll send you the quote,
I've worked directly with her. She does a fantastic job, and there's any suggestion that I or her or others are party to anti-Semitism is a mischaracterization attempting to win political points.
Sir, and I'm going to
Senator,
say
you're attempting to win political points on the backs of mischaracterizing the statements of a member of my department, and I'm not going to stand for that.
You are not a serious person. You are not serious about rooting out, fighting anti-Semitism within the ranks of our DOD. It's despicable. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. I'm going to move on to General Hawk. The sudden and inexplicable dismissal of General Hawk. He serves both director of the National Security Agency, commander of U.S. Cybercom. It's deeply concerning, raises significant questions about the decision-making process, its potential consequences. Public reports indicate that the removal of General Hawk, who has served his country proudly, has been influenced by social media influencer and influencer personality on social media, Laura Loomer, spreads conspiracy theories. She's been denounced even by Republicans. And the idea is that any leaders within our agencies responsible for our nation's security, somebody would be dismissed based on the advice of a social media influencer is alarming, to say the least. It's surely not how we should be running our military. So were you consulted regarding General Hawk's dismissal, yes or no?
Well, Senator, I would not advise believing everything you read in the media.
Were you,
and I'm consulted on every single decision.
Okay,
I'm the
so that's
decision maker
alarming.
for the department, and we all
department,
serve at the pleasure of the president,
Okay.
and
So
we have the
what was your-
prerogative to
what
make
was
those
your
decisions
what
the
was your
best for the
recommendation?
country,
Did
and
you
we did
personally
that.
approve Mr. Hawk's dismissal, yes or no?
Anyone coming or going
Personally
at the
approve
Defense
it.
Department, especially at that level, would ultimately be a decision
So
made by
that's a
me,
yes.
and I
Did you
stand
personally
behind that.
relieve him?
Excuse
Did
me?
you personally relieve him? Yes or
Anyone
no?
at that level
You did,
who is
so that's a
relieved
yes.
would be relieved by the Secretary of Defense.
Was there a specific justification for General Hawk's dismissal? Was there a specific justification for General Hawk's dismissal?
Ma'am, we all serve at the pleasure of the president, and the president deserves the type
it
of
true?
commanders and advisors that he thinks will best
Did you
equip him
discuss General
to
Hawk's
accomplish the
dismissal with
mission.
Laura Loomer prior to his removal?
I don't discuss who I talk about anything with, but ultimately this is my decision, and he serves at the pleasure of the president, and that's why he's no longer there.
So do you believe it's appropriate for any social media personality to influence personnel decisions in your department, yes or no?
I believe your time is up, Senator.
Oh, it is not up to you to tell me when my time is up.
Well, the time
And I
of
am
the
going to say,
senator.
Mr. Secretary, you're either feckless or complicit. You're not in control of your department. This is unserious. It is shocking. You're not combating anti-Semitism within your ranks. It's a dangerous and pivotal time in our nation's history. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back. And I don't appreciate the smirk, sir. You are the Secretary of Defense.
The time of the gentlelady has expired.
What you just witnessed wasn't a clash of ideology. It was a collision between democratic accountability and a defense secretary who treats national security like a personality-driven loyalty test. Rosen didn't ask complicated questions. She gave Hegseth the simplest ethical standards any Pentagon leader should meet: reject anti-Semitism, reject neo-Nazi rhetoric, protect institutional integrity, and maintain independent military leadership free from political puppeteering. Instead of answering, Hegseth smirked, deflected, and tried to belittle the senator, because the truth behind her questions is devastating. Under his leadership, a Pentagon spokesperson who echoed white supremacist conspiracy tropes wasn't disciplined, she was promoted. A 4-star cyber commander wasn't removed for wrongdoing, he was fired immediately after Trump-aligned internet personalities demanded it on social media. And when Rosen pressed for a yes or no explanation, Hegseth exposed the real danger. He couldn't point to a single national security justification, because the decision wasn't about strategy or readiness. It was about appeasing Trump and the ecosystem of influencers who now operate as shadow decision-makers inside American defense policy. Rosen's outrage wasn't performative. It was patriotic. This wasn't about left or right. It was about the fact that America's military, the institution tasked with safeguarding the nation, is being hollowed out from within by a secretary who mistakes online loyalty tests for leadership and who elevates ideological warriors while sidelining the professionals tasked with defending the country. Her final words landed because they were undeniably true. A Pentagon run by obedience instead of competence becomes a Pentagon that cannot protect the nation. And Hegseth's smirk, his dismissiveness, and his refusal to give a single straight answer only confirmed what millions watching already suspected. The man sitting in the chair is not safeguarding our national security. He's jeopardizing it.